Good day, everybody. Today's training session is going to be on the blog widget. So I have Chad as usual on the call, and Chad will be going over the blog widget. Obviously, if there's any questions, just go ahead and put them in the chat, and we will answer the questions. All right, Chad, go ahead with the blog widget.
Okay. We still got a few people filtering in, but I'll go ahead and start. Today we're going to be discussing the blog widget, and basically for those who are not familiar, a blog is essentially just a collection of articles organized on a site, and they're becoming a lot more and more popular lately. You can write a blog about pretty much anything. The blog usually centers around like a single subject or a single topic, and it's usually written by like a single person or a small team of people or a single entity. And the beauty about a blog is, like I said, you can write about anything you want. Right here is just a sample blog. You would simply add a widget, and you would click the blog widget, and then that would create the blog for you. Once you create the blog, we're going to go ahead and open that just to see what it looks like. I have one kind of pre-made, but we're going to create a new article just to see how this all works. You can see how it's organized on the right here. And you can change the organization once you create them. We'll go over that in just a bit, but it's pretty simple. You would simply add your title right at the top here, and you can do a subtitle, and you'll see that it'll appear right at the top. And for the list items, you would simply add a new list item. Oh, we had another person join. Okay, so what you would do is when you first create a blog, this is going to be blank. Then you would simply click add a new list item, and that's going to create a new article. You'd give the article a title and a subtitle if you want. And you can write an abstract, and the abstract is what's going to appear basically right below the title. You can see there's the abstract 2 and then abstract 3. Now that's usually used to do like a brief description of the article, or a little subtitle sort of. It's almost like a mini subtitle that's on the outside. So if I were to open this, you'd see there's the actual subtitle, and the abstract is what appears on the outside. And then you can enter your main text, and that's going to appear in the article. And when I save this, you'll see it'll now create that new article right there, that title. We can give that title 5. And you can see it just created that new article right there on top. It automatically adds that to the top, and if I were to click on it, it would open up that article. There's a subtitle, and there's the article content itself. And that's pretty much the basics of a blog in terms of just articles. You would simply add a new article, enter all your information, and save it, and it'll automatically add these articles in a row. We can keep going down because you can add more stuff as well, such as whether you want to schedule the publishing. So what you can do is you can actually enter all of your information, enter the whole article, and type it all out. But if you don't want it to be published just yet and you want to schedule it for tomorrow morning or something, you can do that here. You can choose a date and time, and it'll publish that for you automatically at the specified date and time. And when you go over here, you can determine whether it's published and it'll be actually live and published on the site, or if it's a draft where it's published but it's only visible to you. So you can use that to kind of preview it and see how if the publish worked.
Very nice.
Right, so that's one way to schedule publishing. So that's pretty neat. A lot of the other widgets don't let you do that, but the blog, you can write everything up ahead of time, which is pretty neat. You can also add images and videos right down here. So if I wanted to add an image to that article, it's very simple. You just simply click, add an image. You can see once you know what happened is it moved it down to the bottom. Oh, wait, hold on. There's another one. I wanted to join the meeting.
That's okay.
All right, let me save this. So, okay. Oh, you know what happened is it created the article, and then it put it on a different page. So what happened is, see how I scheduled it? It's actually not published because I scheduled it to be published in the future. So what you would do is you would erase that. That's what that problem was. So when you save it without a date to be published, you'll see it now appears at the top with the picture.
Good tip there too as well.
Yeah, so that was just a little, I got a little mixed up there. But yeah, make sure it's not published. Sorry about that.
No,
Okay, so you can add pictures. You can add multiple pictures, and that'll turn it into a slider as well. I'm sure you're all familiar with that. And you can determine the settings for the slider right here.
Right. What
And
Chad's getting into, sorry, Chad, sorry to interrupt you on this one, just because this is now what Chad's getting into, this bottom section, is what we've trained on numerous times. So I'm not going to have Chad go back into that, since it's just carbon copy of what is on most of our widgets on there. So Chad, continue on, but you don't have to go over that. Everybody already knows all that, or should know that by this stage.
Right. Yeah. So you can do the sliders, images. You're probably all familiar with that, and then videos. You can also add buttons as well. So please watch the buttons tutorial in the widgets tutorial to understand more about that. But you could easily add buttons, as well as author and date. So if you want a little author to appear below the title, as well as a date that's published, you can do that as well. Keep in mind, though, that if you were to do this, this might mess up the organization of your article, because many of these are automatically organized by date. So if you change the date, it's going to change the way those articles are organized. Does that make sense?
Very good point. Good. Yes.
Yeah, that's something I learned the hard way. So if I were to change this title 3 and put it as if it was published today, it would actually move it up to the top.
Right. And I think one of the things that Chad showed too as well is with our system, and you'll see this for a lot of it, is you get to go and make your blog, which is obviously what we're talking about now, and have it in draft status. So you're going to get to see what it looks like and make sure that it's exactly what you want before you would actually make it public. So that's nice. Check your work kind of thing. So it's a nice feature. And then with Sylvia working on an undo button too as well. So we'll have that before launch. Right. Thanks, Chad.
Right. Exactly. And then you can see I just added the author and the date right here. You can see there's the title 5, and then there's abstract, and the author's name is right below that, and the date is right below the picture.
Perfect.
Adds that automatically. And then if I were to open it up, you can see the date right there, and you can actually scroll down to the bottom to see the little biography of the author. Like
yeah,
news articles and stuff have.
Pretty neat to see something that instant.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have multiple people working on a blog or articles, you can do different authors, so you can see who published what. And you can also do locations and maps, just like the content blocks. So if you wanted to add a map onto there, you can simply type an address, and it'll upload that map to that particular article. If I were to open it up, you'll see that there, and then map is now at the bottom with the address.
Very convenient.
Yeah, as well as attachments. So you can, if you wanted people to be able to, or like download files from this article, or you want to upload specific pictures, you can upload a file from your computer, and then people would then be able to download the file. Once you browse it and click upload, save, and this is a great way to share articles with people.
Sure is.
They can open it, and they'll see the now download file button, and that'll download that image.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Right, and then I think we're just about done with the article. The only other thing in the particular, each individual article is the SEO and the open graph, and that's more for advanced training.
That is correct.
Right. So it's pretty simple. For each blog, basically, you would make a collection of articles. You would simply add an article, give it a title, an abstract if you want, give it some text, and any other images, pictures, or videos, or buttons you want. Once that's saved, you can save an update, and then go back to the main widget page. And you can see all the different articles right here. And you can see what happened is it moved this one down to the bottom because I gave it a date. And that's going to automatically organize your articles. You can determine if you want to organize them manually or if you want to organize them in reverse order in the search pagination orders and tabs page. What this does is this lets you determine how it's organized. So right here on the left, you can add a search form. This little search bar will function. If I turn this off, this will disappear. So you see that search bar disappeared. And that can be used to search for keywords in articles. So that's an easy way to automatically add a search bar. You can see I put a little secret here. If I go to the first article, there's this little thing that says test 1, 2, 3. That's just a little keyword I typed in there. So if I were to go to search and type in test 1, 2, 3 and click the search, you'll see it brings up that article 1 because that contains that keyword. So that's an easy way to automatically search. And if you want to organize how it's organized on this list items. If you want to manually organize that, you can do that in here. You can do the items order right here, and you see how it's automatically default to most recent to oldest, because that's how normally blogs are organized. People want to read the most recent articles first. They don't care as much about the old articles, but you can do old to most recent, or you can even do manual. So if you switch this to manual and save it, this will let you manually organize these. So if I want to bring this all the way up to the top, you can bring that up, and you see that now brings the title 1 all the way up to the top, and I can bring title 2 up there. And that's how you organize those manually. As well as you can organize the pages. So if I want to organize it into pages, I have, let's say, like 20 articles or so, and I only want to put like 4 per page. You could put 4 items per page, save that, and you'll see it now has 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'd have to go to the second page to get to that other article.
Very nice.
So that's how you'd organize the pages. And you can also, if you don't like pages, you can also do another method of organizing where it'll show the show more button instead of the pages. So what that means is it'll load it all on one page, and you'll just have to keep clicking that show more button. So when you scroll down, you'll see the button, you click show more, and it'll load more articles. And the more articles you have, the more it'll load each time.
Okay.
That's the other way to organize them. And then you can also hide additional tabs, as well as like add calendars and maps. That's a little bit more advanced, and we'll probably go over that later, as well as add an RSS feed. That's also kind of advanced. RSS feed, I'm still kind of going over that, but that's basically when you pull a particular feed from a separate server, so it can be used to like upload automatically. But that's going to be in a separate training.
It will. Yeah, that's another, we'll be hitting on every single widget, and that will be our next one's coming up.
Yeah, we'll do RSS next. And then you can determine how it's organized on mobile versus desktop. So if you want to do more than one column, I usually recommend just one column on mobile because it's a small screen. But if you see when I view the site, you can see on the preview, there's 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one is at the bottom.
Gotcha.
And you can change that here by just switching the mobile versus desktop style. So when you go back and then refresh, you can see it brings that 4th one up to the top there.
I'm always impressed with how when you hit refresh with our system,
yeah, it's instant.
We're not buffering for 5 minutes.
Right, exactly. And then you also have one more option of organizing the layout, and that is in an accordion. So if you click accordion, that's going to scrunch all of these into an accordion style where they'll open and close automatically when you click them. See how they're all just these, just the title?
I love that. I love that.
So when I click it, it'll open and shrink it, and that's what it means by accordion, because accordions, open and close.
It's one of my favorite features, especially on our mobile.
Right. Yeah, accordion's pretty neat. And then the modal is also important. I'll show you that real quickly. So normally, it's up to you how you want the pages to be opened. Right now I have it set to open in modal, which means that it pops open in a separate page, like a floating page. See how this floating page kind of pops up, and then you can exit and it'll shrink away and go back to the main page. If you want to open in a separate page, you can select open in separate page, and then this will actually open it in a manual page that it'll open up at a whole new page that then they would have to go back
right
to it. So that's just a different way of showing it. It's up to you how you want to do it.
It's up to you, or it's up if you're building a site for somebody, it's up to what they want. So that's why I love it.
Right. And then the image here, normally images, they're uploaded as is, but you can cut off the corners if you want. So if these are rounded corners, if I want to give it square corners, you can do that, and you can see it's more square and rectangle shaped, or you can even cut out the whole corners and make it a circle, which is pretty neat. So you can automatically organize images that way. And then for additional options, they're just like all the other widgets pretty much. You would ask if they want to be logged in, or whether it's mobile only or desktop only. So you could have 2 separate blogs completely, one for mobile, one for desktop, where they can't even see it. And the additional styles are just like all the others, where you pretty much, this is for organization and like custom CSS and stuff.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So George just asked, is the abstract appearing in the accordion? Go to the accordion setting and show them.
The abstract, yeah, that's a good idea, actually. So I believe that the accordion, because the way it's organized, it kind of cuts out some of the stuff. So I don't believe the abstract is shown, but we'll take a look. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so accordion does not show the abstract because the accordion is so much smaller.
Correct. Again, it's options. It's like a very high-end vehicle that gives you all the options, yours to choose to use them or yours to choose to not use them. We're just here to give you the tool, and you on your end are there to determine how you want it to look, how you want it to design, because there's not two people that will design any site the same. So it's up to you, it's up to your clients, it's up to the end user of what they want it to look like. We just don't force you into one way or another. We just give you the options.
Right.
Well, actually, if we actually then, it will defeat the purpose. It's not a bad idea, Jocelyn, of the abstract in the accordion. That's not a bad idea, but we also have the search there. And then if we start doing that, then we start getting away from the whole purpose of the accordion opening up. But it's still not a bad idea. I'll talk to Silvio about where she says Title I, maybe right beside it, having a little bit, but now you're also still back into that less information that's going to go in there. So again, this is why we say it's your option to use it.
Right, yeah, it's just more flexibility.
Right, and what we're getting now, which is what we love, we absolutely love this, by the way, is we're getting a lot of people that are now really into this, into the system, and they're now coming up with these brilliant, great ideas that we absolutely love. Some will be implemented, most of them are, some won't, but we like the excitement. We like how everybody is now thinking outside of the box, like, oh, if it had this, if it had that, if it had this. Remember this. We're going to need version 2, version 3. We're going to need constant upgrades. As we have it sits right now, it's pretty much ready to go except for an undo button and then some remainder trainings. All the widget trainings, some more advanced trainings, everything will be done. But as of right now, we're having an undo button, and the system is basically, you guys have betaed the heck out of it. It's pretty much ready to go except for a few little add-on features here and there and some training. So again, we want to thank everybody too as well. So sorry, Chad, I just love these beta testers so much. So. Okay, so we had, yes, SEO training. Now SEO training, let me kind of get the air out. So we're going to have quite a bit of advanced training. Now advanced training for everybody who's not a beta tester will actually be paid training. But for everybody who is a beta tester, put it this way, you are going to have Silvio teaching. I am going to be at the head of the class on that one for what he's going to teach. He's going to teach SEO. He is going to teach the CSS. So we're going to get to learn from the master how to do it. And when Silvio teaches, he teaches in a way that if we've never turned on a computer before, we'll be able to understand. So we're going to have, and I consider that a privilege to be able to learn from him. I've been with him for over 3 years, and I have not had the privilege of him being able to sit down with me one-on-one and teach CSS. So we're going to get all that, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So the SEO, Silvio is an SEO master. His background is, he started off with SEO. So he will be able to teach us all. So everybody that's in the beta tester, just think of the leg up you're going to have with our platform going forward. You're going to know a whole lot of information. Some of you in here are already outpacing what I know, which is awesome. Go ahead, Chad. You still there, Chad? Or are you on mute?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so that's pretty much just about it for the blog. Once you create the blog and add all your articles independently, you would just simply create articles as you go and determine how they're organized.
Exactly. So if there's no more questions on that, that will be today's training. Then we're going to have more tomorrow, and obviously until we get to them all. And then when we're done through all the training, what we'll start doing at that point is sitting down and actually building some websites from scratch with no templates. And we'll start having some more. We'll probably do like a group build where we'll all have fun with one and show some of the features. We won't worry about speed. We won't worry about any optimization. We're just going to go in, build a website, have fun, and play with all the features of it. And we'll make it like a kind of a team collaboration just to have some fun. And we'll have Silvio join us for some of those so we can start having a lot of fun with this. Chad, again, great job. I think you explained it in detail. So if there's nothing else, we will call that a morning and then be back at it tomorrow morning.